I started training at the Actors Playhouse in Melbourne, and from then I got really inspired by the Meisner technique. So what I did is I went to London for a 3-week holiday, and I went and did a 1-week course at the Actors Temple in London, and I absolutely fell in love with the Meisner technique and how they were teaching it in London. So I said to my mum, please can you help me to stay here for 6 months so that I can train and bring all of this information back to Australia. But she said, no, we don't have the money, you're going to have to come back. And so I said, okay, universe, 24 hours, show me the money. Then in 24 hours, the money turned up and I was able to stay in London for 6 months and do some of the best training I've ever done. And so I made a promise to myself that if the money showed up when I was in London, that I would come back to Melbourne and share this information with Melbourne and Australia. And now I'm really, really passionate about sharing it with the world.
So with our personal truths, I guess it's sort of a concept that a lot of people might not really be that familiar with. To you, how do we find our truth? What is our truth? Where does that come from?
Well, I think we have to really look at what part of ourselves are we not facing. We hide so many parts of ourselves, I think, in a basement, and we really want to identify with the parts of ourselves that we like. But we don't actually see that our dark sides, our jealousy and our guilt, if we actually identify that they're there and we actually feel them and we talk to them and we develop a good relationship with them, that actually underneath that is so much magic and so much wisdom, and there's so much power on the stage when an actor is actually connecting to their guilt or connecting to their jealousy with no judgment. For me, we're all capable of being Hitler and we're all capable of being Oprah. It's just actually finding that within ourselves and giving us permission to shine, giving us permission to be everything that we are. Because I believe that everything is a mirror. So we're capable of relating to everything that we see. And that's what I love about being an actor, is that you get that opportunity to dig deep and actually look at those parts of ourselves that society judges, perhaps like a prostitute or a murderer, and actually find that within us, because we're all capable of anything. Every single day, do something that takes you out of your comfort zone. So when you're going to an audition, it's just your one thing you're doing that day to take yourself out of your comfort zone.
It's so easy as an actor to get caught up in that, habit of going to events and going to castings and being out there in the world. But how important is self-reflection?
Self-reflection to me is everything. To me, being an actor is a journey of the relationship with my voice, with my mind, with my body, with my soul, and that is a personal journey. No one can go on that journey with you. Self-reflection to me is everything for an actor. You have to use memory or use imagination to trigger yourself, and only you know what is specific to you. So yes, you can get a mentor or an acting coach that can give you tools and exercises, but at the end of the day, you've got to do the work. You have to be committed to actually take off the armor and actually go within, and also be able to say what Howard Fine says, what worked, what didn't, and why, and be able to actually give yourself self-reflection. Because a lot of the time directors won't give you any feedback. They'll just be like, let's just have another take. And that's when you, as the actor, actually have to say, well, what worked that time? And maybe what other things could I use in my toolkit to trigger me for another take? Because you're not going to obviously have your acting coach or your mentor there on set with you.
Knowledge is power, but it's more how you use that
Right.
knowledge. To
This is
paraphrase
my
you.
favourite thing at the moment, is that everyone's like, knowledge is power, yes. And I'm like, nah, knowledge is not power. The application of knowledge is power. It doesn't matter how many acting books you've read. It doesn't matter how many acting classes you've gone to. It's how are you actually going to apply that then into your everyday life and on set. And to me, that is the most important thing, is applying the knowledge that you're given.
So I've seen a lot of resistance, and I've felt a lot of resistance dealing with my own blocks as an actor. You know, I remember particularly working with you, I had a huge block around anger. And I really
That was a
struggled
fun one.
with it. That was interesting, and it frustrated me that I couldn't
Yeah.
even get to anger when I was training with you a few years ago. And, you know, I'm just wondering, with those kind of blocks, why is it such a struggle, and why is it, you know, why does it feel so much easier to resist going there and to turn our backs on it? You know, what can we do about that?
Well, I've actually created a new quote. And the quote is, "It is painful to connect to your truth, but there is a higher price for living a lie." So yes, it's going to be painful doing this work. You're going to have to really go within. You're going to have to tap into your sadness. You're going to have to tap into your anger. You're going to have to tap into your guilt. But the results from connecting to your truth are unlimited. You are connected then to an unlimited source, an unlimited power, and all of your dreams can come true because you'll be connected to that power that makes anything possible. So yes, it's a process. We're always going to constantly be delving inside, and when we do that, it's going to hurt. There is going to be pain, and yes, anger's going to come up. And when anger does come up, it's about actually addressing that it's there, not judging it, just saying, okay, I'm angry now. Where can I feel that in my body? I'm feeling tension in my back, I'm feeling tension in my neck, and not trying to resist that by actually just addressing, hello, hi, yeah, and have a little party with your anger. And so that's my quote for the moment, that it's painful to connect to your truth, but there's a higher price for living a lie. Oh, I have so many people that inspire me daily, but I'm so inspired every day by my mentor. At the moment, my mentor is an amazing man. His name is Paul Gale Baker, and he started off as my therapist, but now he's more my life coach, and he introduced me to the wonderful world of voice dialogue. And voice dialogue is a process of connecting to all the parts of you. And so what I've done is worked really intensely with him, learning the psychology behind connecting to all your parts, and then created exercises that actors can use so they can access the character within them, so they can actually access what part of your body, or where is the pleaser, where is the part of me that pushes me. I always had to step up and be the man in the house. And because I stepped up to be the man in the house, I really have ingrained in me really masculine habits. So what I've really enjoyed, especially over the last 6 to 12 months, is really giving myself permission to not be a man, always having to be so driven, not always being so competitive, to actually just be. And so I'm just really inspired at the moment to just receive. And I found that my actual acting has changed so much by just not even putting so much pressure on myself to be driven by my intention. I'm just trusting that I've read the script, I've done the work, I can now just be. I can now just be with the other actor, be in the given circumstances, and just work moment to moment, listening and answering and just enjoying the ride. If anything, just actors out there just really need to have a fun time and just invite themselves to be in a joyful place and let the character just channel through you.
And in a free place as well.
Exactly.